Well, Mulan came out on digital, and apparently Disney is satisfied with what they've seen. Despite what you might have heard of people going, "I'm canceling my subscription." Well, apparently they didn't, because Disney subscriptions have risen, according to reports. And
I'll say there's third-party apps saying they had like 68% increase in downloads, which
Woo.
I assume is to watch Mulan, which, yes, to watch that you'd have to subscribe. But, Hamilton, when that came out, saw like a 79, and that was free. So
Yeah.
a 10% bump for Pro that I having to pay for it.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I mean, it's not bad. And again, yes, you're going to look wherever, and yes, you're going to see outrages and controversy. But I want everybody to remember one thing. After Mandalorian season 1 finished, everywhere you looked on Twitter and Facebook was people going, "Well, I cancel my subscription. I guess I don't need Disney Plus, and we're just going to tank the service." And somehow, since that time, they've added 50 million subscribers, because obviously people didn't the bubble. Sure, the bubble that was angry canceled it, whatever. But the indicator here is that Mulan is doing rather well for Disney, at least for what third party, analysts are gauging.
I was gonna say it's still unfortunately it's all third party. Disney's being very stum about it, which you can say sure, yeah, is a bit of they're not happy about it, but there is conflicting things going on here. I think it's supposed to have made roughly like 33 million or something like that. I think that's what the third party people are saying.
Huh.
Like it's around that ballpark, which if you go to the projections Mulan was having for March and take out everything and go, it was, cinemas and theaters are fine. There is no coronis floating about. Everyone can go pack into a theater willy-nilly as much as they want. It was looking at like an 80 to 90 mil, which take the cut away from the cinema chains, and you're looking at probably about the same.
I was going to say, if you remove the theatrical cut of 90 million and they've done, you're looking at about the same amount of profit margin, which is damn impressive.
And that's just from Disney Plus, because it's also, you can get this from other places as well.
Mm-hmm.
But that's going to have to be a cut. And also they got like, what was it, 6 mil from the 9 markets it released in or something like that?
Yeah.
So it's making some kind of money. We just have to wait and see. They're not going to say exactly until they have that finance call in like November or whatever.
Oh, yeah. That's, I think, what they're waiting for, because here's why they don't want to release it now. If they were to just come out and go, "Well, this is what it did," that could either, we know certain websites and people will bend the narrative and it will paint it as, well, Disney is done. If other ones will paint it as the opposite, and some will go, "Well, it's in the middle." If they wait for that investors call, as they do every single time, look at what happened last time. Their stocks quickly started to rebound once they announced how many subscribers they had and across everything and all their channels. They're waiting for that right on the cusp of the 1-year anniversary of Disney Plus. They know exactly what they're doing here. And right before it drops digitally for everybody. Like, the strategy here is so sound. You just look at their timetable of announcements and releases and you go, damn, you guys are playing this out pretty good.
They also get to say a bigger number if they wait longer.
Exactly.
So, how much has it made? Well, it's made 200 million, and that's all to us, because you haven't got to split it. Right. Cool. Instead of saying, it made 30 million. It's only been 3 days.
On top of that, they can roll in and be like, well, out of the 200 million it made in this window on premium, also, it drove new subscriber revenue by 139%. And they don't have to tell you what week, what day, or anything. But if they put that PR spin on it, which, like, you look at Xbox, for example, every single month, when they started losing, they're like, well, Xbox had the greatest month ever for new IP attached to a brand new console. You're just like, what the hell are you even talking about? But, the headline will say best month ever, and that's what you want, right? Because people don't read the article. So the interesting thing will be, how does this roll into Black Widow, which it sounds like Black Widow could see a delay as well. And we're going to stick with what we've been saying since this thing started. It's doing Mulan's tactic, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
It's the only other option is the Bill and Ted. It does day and date.
Mm-hmm.
Because look at what Bill and Ted's doing right now. They are saying they're the #1 movie on digital. It made nothing in theaters and cinemas.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Ugh.
Digital, they can say they're #1. How much has it made? We don't know. All we know is it's #1. If it's beating Mulan, I'll kind of be surprised, to be honest.
Yeah.
Bill and Ted, I know it's a very much, hey, are you 30 to 40? Then Bill and Ted's for you. Whereas, Mulan's more of a family thing. But, yeah, But Black Widow, if it does move, it ain't going to move far. It may be like a month or something.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll just be like, hey, yeah, if you want to go and risk catching the Ronies, fine. You can buy it at home. It's right there. You can be safe.
Right.
Or you can go in an air-conditioned death box. It's right there. Cool. Take your pick. And then if that does well, that will be your new model going forward. Because there'll be no way they're going to let any franchise be like, yeah, no, you can only release it here. It's like, no.
Yeah, and like the other thing that you're also looking at with this whole situation, right, is Mulan, yes, it has an effect on Black Widow, but Black Widow is Marvel Studios. So if Mulan drives up your numbers, if you release Black Widow everywhere you possibly can, and day and date do Disney Plus, I have no doubt they will at least double or triple Mulan numbers with ease on Disney Plus. So
I say Mulan's got he's got the stigma of being a Disney remake. People aren't. They make money. Don't get me wrong.
Oh my
People
God,
aren't
they
that
do.
hot on, like the idea they're not that hot on. I think the worst one's Dumbo. Like,
yeah,
there's been a couple of stinkers, but for the most part, they've made a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, there's the whole. She's apparently in support of the police in Hong Kong.
Right?
Which
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I'm sorry. Like, come on now. All this other stuff that they've been did the whole filming thing and thanking the companies with the whole the Muslim stuff.
Yeah.
Horrendous.
Yeah.
Horrendous. There's a lot of stigma behind this movie. Black Widow hasn't got that.
No, it doesn't. And
It's the first movie from the biggest franchise in Hollywood ever for what's going to be a year and a half.
Right? Yeah. Jeez.
Like, people want it. There's been no marketing for it, but people want that.
Like, Mulan is a good test, but Black Widow would be the ultimate test because, I mean,
say Black Widow's the make or break. Are we going to go with this or not?
Yup. Because again, like, Black Widow has that. It has the power to show off what really can drive businesses. And what's interesting about like the Black Widow situation is if it's slightly delayed again, which there is that possibility, we know that they said by the 1-year anniversary of Disney Plus, they're looking to get into way more markets. So if on your investors call, you announce, we're opening Disney Plus to 12 new territories. Oh, and also on that same day, you guys also have the premium access along with Mulan, just for everybody. Go ahead and watch it. But on that day, you're also able to buy Black Widow right there from the comfort of your own home. You know how much revenue you're going to do on, one, new countries signing up that week, and then two, jumping right on a premium $30 purchase of Black Widow. They will easily add millions of people and get them to do that. Like, the business strategy makes sense because by the time that quarter is over and it's springtime and it's their physical yearly earnings, imagine that number when they state it. Like, you could see sort of, again, the trajectory of how we've been saying what happens with digital and Mulan. You can look at that for Black Widow and how they could position this, and their numbers just look better and better every time. Like, they have nothing to lose with Black Widow on digital. Like, nothing at all.
And they're also not going to have a choice.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, cases in Europe are going up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in the UK from Monday, you can no longer meet up with a group of 6 or more for 40 minutes. So, that's to try and stop what's happening right now, it's already going up. So it's inevitable. There's going to be a second lockdown. So where are you going to put this thing out? They can't keep sitting on movies. They can't keep delaying a movie. You're going to lose out all in the merchandising.
I mean, and we just this past week we saw that Eternal stuff has already started to hit some overseas markets. So shipments are being sent, and Eternals is not coming. So like,
hey, to the guy who took the picture of Ajax, where the hell are the other 9?
Yeah, legit. He just didn't care. He's like, nah.
It's only the one. It's like, well, show me the other 9. Come on now. Don't do that. But yeah, it's gonna happen. No, people go, oh, it won't. It's like, it will. I know Deadline said Disney is considering moving it. Well, duh. Like, let's be honest here. Of course they're considering moving it. They're considering a lot of things.
Yeah.
That's not a headline. That's not news. Like, that's just like, I'm considering what to have for like dinner tonight. Like, it's just what people do. But yeah, it will happen. It will be out day and date at least.
Hopefully. When? That's the big question mark, because their next Black Widow delay would put it into February, which they are not dumping Black Widow in February. I'm sorry. That's... No.
I mean, February's a month that makes money from their movies.
It does. It does now. But again, the situation ain't going to be better by then. So,
No, it really ain't. Well,